Welcome, viewer, to tonight's episode. This series does not claim that any one modern person is literally a horseman of revelation. This is a commentary comparing biblical symbols with real-world patterns of conquest, war, scarcity, death, and moral decay. Some threats do not arrive screaming. Some do not crash through the door with blood on their hands. Some arrive polished, measured, disciplined, decorated in the language of peace. What if the first rider does not terrify the world because he looks respectable? What if conquest enters smiling? Welcome to ProphecyCast. Tonight, we begin with the white horse. And no, tonight is not about easy villains. It is not about cartoon evil. It is not about one man with one title and one flag. Tonight is about something more dangerous. Power that expands while calling itself security. Dominion that introduces itself as order. Control that borrows the language of peace. My guest tonight is a strategist. A man who believes civilization survives because strong hands make hard decisions. Ready when you are. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Let's begin simply. Why does conquest so often call itself protection?
Because sometimes it is protection. A state that refuses to secure its borders loses sovereignty. A government that hesitates to project strength invites disorder. The world is not held together by wishes. It is held together by structure, power, leverage, and the willingness to act before threats mature.
So the seizure of ground, the expansion of control, the tightening of force, and these are not warnings to you. Is expansion always a sign of weakness?
Not automatically. Sometimes expansion is survival. Sometimes control prevents bloodshed later. History punishes weakness far more consistently than it punishes ambition.
And there it is. Ambition baptized as necessity. You see, that is what makes the white horse so chilling. It does not arrive looking chaotic. It arrives organized, crown-posed, conquering without first needing to look monstrous.
You are romanticizing power as if power ever had the luxury of innocence. A nation that does not secure itself will be secured by somebody else. A people that do not define their future will have it defined for them.
Take now or be taken later. Advance now or perish later.
Dominate now or regret mercy later.
Because sometimes that is true.
Then let's not sugarcoat it. The lines have been redrawn, and the horse is no longer in the stable. True enough to justify what? Occupation, displacement, permanent emergency. A people living under pressure, while the powerful call it stability.
You speak as if all control is corruption. It is not. Some control is the cost of peace.
The cost of peace for whom? And at what point does control oversteps its bounds? And some control is the marketing department of conquest. Look around the world, territory contested, law bent by force, displacement justified by security needs. Expansion described as reality, and resistance described as disorder. This is why the white horse matters, because conquest in our time rarely introduces itself honestly. It comes with podiums, legal language, border maps, press conferences, and flags arranged beautifully behind the lie.
Or perhaps what you call a lie is simply adulthood. Perhaps you are unwilling to accept that peace is often protected by pressure, not purity.
And perhaps you are unwilling to admit that power rarely stops where it said it would. The white horse is not only the violence of takeover, it is the seduction of takeover. The clean face, the confident voice, the promise that if you surrender just a little more, everything will calm down. But conquest never feeds on what it already owns. It feeds on what is next.
And weakness never negotiates from safety.
Maybe. But history is full of people who called themselves protectors while quietly rejoining the world around those too tired to stop them. So tonight, do not ask only who looks dangerous. Ask who looks convincing. Ask whose language sounds responsible while their reach keeps growing. Ask when orders stopped meaning peace and started meaning submission. Because the first rider may not terrify the world at first, he may impress it. Thank you for being here tonight. Next episode, we move from conquest to open bloodshed. Because once power takes ground, peace rarely leaves politely. If this episode gave you something to think about, something to pray about, or something to wrestle with, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification button so you do not miss anything. See you in next episode.